question is, what is Islam's view on religious freedom? It's important to first explain that Islam, which means submission, is the culmination of the monotheistic teachings of all the previous prophets. Another important point is that Prophet Muhammad came with the Quran not to forcibly convert people from polytheism to Islam, but to teach them about Islam and to conduct himself in such a way that people could observe the beautiful conduct of a Muslim. The Prophet's task is also set out in the Quran. The messenger's duty is only to deliver the message. The Prophet was also commanded to leave people alone if they ignored his teachings or if they had left Islam after first believing in it. This is also explained in the Quran, but if they disregard your warnings, remember that we have not sent you as their keeper. There was no such thing as coercion to become Muslims. The early Arabs in the Hijaz, who were mainly polytheists, focused on tribal rules, and many of them were also nomadic, who slowly at first and then much faster after the migration to Medina converted to Islam. As the Muslims became successful in defending themselves against the persecution and wars instigated against them by the powerful polytheists from Mecca, more and more people became Muslims. By this time, the Muslims enjoyed safety under the Islamic government in Medina. One example of the tolerance towards others is beautifully demonstrated in early Islamic history. There had been a sizable Jewish community in Medina when Prophet Muhammad migrated there with the Muslims. The Prophet made a peace agreement with them and they continued to live in Medina and its environs. The peace agreement gave the Jews protection through the Islamic government and its army, freedom to practice their religion, exemption from serving in the government army, all in return for a tax called the jizya. In fact, the Quran called the Jews and the Christians the people of the scripture or Ahlul Kitab. Prophet Muhammad during his lifetime was also sending letters to rulers of other countries, inviting them to Islam. In none of these letters did the Prophet ever threaten military intervention if the ruler didn't accept the invitation. Religious freedom likewise means that human beings have the capacity and ability to choose religion. The rational human being is very well able to think about and understand religion. Man is not forced into religion. As we read in the Quran, there is no compulsion in religion. Religious freedom also needs to be seen in the context of the freedom that human beings are given by God. Just as all humans are born with a divine fitra, which is a tendency to the good and to monotheism, but they also have animal instincts and the capacity to make bad choices. Likewise, human beings are not forced into becoming Muslims and can make up their own mind to follow no religion at all or something else. However, it is made clear to them that their choice will have an impact on their hereafter and their standing with God. There are consequences for stubbornly refusing to follow Islam if a person has come to know about it. If a person never became a Muslim, but also never really had the opportunity to be acquainted with Islam, their misguidedness is less severe. At the end of the day, it is up to the individual if they want to follow the guidance of God and find a secure way to salvation or not. That was it for today, and remember to send us your questions.